Supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Hi. Hey, welcome to the Chris and Nina Real Estate Podcast. We are back together.
Yes, we are.
Yes, she was out buying islands and now she's back.
Yes. Hello. Good evening, everyone. So excited to be here. We're having a special guest tonight. He's on his way. He's going to join us at the second half of the show. We're going to take a break in not too long from now. Chris, how was your week?
My week was wonderful. Business is booming. A lot of refinances, a lot of short sales, a lot of the market is it's an interesting market, Nina.
Yeah, and no, actually, I don't want to say that. Sorry, go
Well,
on.
before
Chris.
we get to business, so how was your trip away?
By the way, we're matching today. So cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
So funny. It's almost a
it's
year.
organic. It's not even, it's
Yeah.
like I wear blue, you wear blue.
Yeah, we didn't plan it.
Yeah, exactly. We really should be
Um,
wearing green, but that's another story.
why? For money?
Exactly.
Whatever. Yeah, we did have an interesting week, and I'm so thrilled by the attention that we're getting. I
Yeah.
mean, overall, I don't like so much attention, and when people don't criticize you, but they do still tell you what they think about the show.
Mm,
They give you also a lot of good feedback that makes you want to do more, but also it takes a lot of time, like answering everywhere.
mm.
Not everywhere, but like sometimes places I go, I feel like I'm being interviewed by everyone, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the good and then the bad.
Well,
I
what's the
heard
bad?
the bad. I heard that there are people on like a list of some groups
Mm.
that are looking to rob people. No, I guess it's a new thing. At first, I thought it was
Oh,
total BS, but today, for the third time, someone mentioned it to me, like other individuals that are working like
yeah.
us. There's like I don't want to be spreading rumors, but just for people to watch out. Apparently, it
Wow.
becomes dangerous. I mean, yeah, I know the world has gone bananas a little bit, but to the
Mm.
point where you have to watch your back everywhere you go, that's a little weird. Yeah.
Well, here on this podcast, we talk about protecting your assets.
Yeah.
And when you're successful, you have to protect your assets. You have to, from not just from theft, but from harm. I know some people try to steal identities, and we live in a crazy world. So once you start generating income, generating wealth, people want to take it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um, so you always have to be on the lookout
Yeah, you have to watch your back.
24/7.
And that's
Yeah.
why I worry about you with those different tenants you be managing.
I mean,
People, mental illness is real, so you
yeah,
never know what someone's capable of. And unfortunately, all it takes is one bad time to change your whole life.
yes. I know a few businesses already who are hiring security guards,
Wow.
like
Real estate offices?
yeah, real estate offices,
Mm,
one real estate offices, one, and also like a law firm slash brokerage,
yeah.
and another one a shoe store.
Wow.
Yeah, very busy shoe store, like Nikes and expensive things. They rob them. So
Wow.
yeah, and then attorneys, they know the whatever. It's just very sad. You need to always be aware.
Well, yours, and the thing is, when you manage homes or if you own multiple homes, you have to constantly visit those houses or have someone visit or have a good system where you have like maybe a ring camera or some kind of cameras or because people will break into your home and nobody's
Yeah.
there.
And they don't necessarily care about cameras, by the way.
No, no. But the thing is, if you have the camera, you can get them out. You know, the worst part isn't them breaking in and damaging. The worst part, worse than that, is them breaking in and living in that house, and then you have a tenant you didn't ask for, and then you got to go to court for I don't know how many years to get them out.
Yeah. It's
That happened to me. I was managing homes, and there was a lockbox, and someone stole the lockbox, and people moved in, but I caught them before they could get mail, before anything.
lucky.
And the crazy part, there was no kitchen, like there was no refrigerator, there was no sink. Like the house was renovated, but it was missing a stove. It was missing. So I was like, and they tried to play it off as like as a real estate agent rented the and I said, who rented this with no water, with no with no sink, no refrigerator, and you tell me you left a deposit? Really? And the cops was like, you're out of there. They got
Right.
him out.
Because not all the time cops want to get involved in it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they're not doing their jobs, but they just don't see a good outcome coming out of such a big risk.
Yeah.
Like they say, well, I'm going to get my hands dirty now, and there's only so much cops can do. Their hands are tied.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them. It's just insane how you come to this position in this type of time, 2023, you guys, like seriously, and you have only what, 25% control, and that's even maybe so.
Well, you know what's crazy is that we act like crime is new sometimes. Like I saw something recently about South Beach and there was a shooting and they put in a curfew. And I'm like, there was always crime in South Beach during spring break. It's nothing new. We just didn't have camera phones
Yeah,
and the internet to monitor all the crime we see today.
yeah,
So
um,
crime is always there. I don't care what decade.
yeah.
If you do the research, you're
You
gonna
would
see.
just think
Yeah,
that, not only real estate, but overall, that the world gets advanced, and so is security, and so are, companies, and it's just, it has to be better, really. Like our
I I
hands are still tied.
I would agree. However, in this today, from what I was when I was reading, is that a lot of major companies are laying people off, and when you have massive layoffs from Facebook to companies that are making a lot of money, Amazon, when you have these layoffs and it's trickling down, you're gonna have an uptick in crime.
Yeah.
When you have companies hiring and people getting jobs and working and getting money, you have less crime.
Hmm.
And so it's unfortunate. It's just this it's a cycle. I want to call it the cycle of life. Like it's just what
Yeah.
happens when you get in these kinds of
Situations.
situations with the job market and
And that's why in real estate, we have a team of people who their jobs, okay, in the office is just to visit properties. We
yeah,
divided it to east and south, where they do specifics. They go and they visit properties once a week. They take photos, videos, aside from content to and showing listings. I'm saying go just to visit, ensure the safety, the security, the condition of the property. So it's very important to check up on your real estate. It's very important to remember that it's very easy to take things for granted. Just sometimes people have that trust, and they have to do also the work a little bit. They say, "Oh, everything is from God." Sometimes, if it meant to happen, it happened. No, you need to do your own try, and and you need to make sure you're on top of your game, because it's not always. It's very easy today to get someone in a property and give you problems.
right. And another thing too, it's important to have a team, to have people when you're going through some of these situations to run stuff off so that you don't um you don't do something crazy.
These chocolates are in front of my face. What do you expect me to do? And look, it matches us. So pretty. They can't see it,
Now
but
they can't see it. Because sometimes it's easy to want to take a bat to somebody because you're having a bad day, especially in real estate and when
mm-hmm.
you're working for yourself
Yeah,
and these properties are your bread and butter and you
snowman.
have somebody causing harm to your property, which is causing harm to your pockets.
Well, mine.
Nah, thank you.
Sorry.
So it's just crazy what you go through in this business, and it's great to have a team that you can lean on. Because I
Mhm.
guarantee you, when you're in real estate, yes, you can make some great money, but along
Mhm.
the way, you're gonna go through some things.
That is correct.
And it's great to have somebody, because you could wind up on the wrong side of things if you don't take a second and not let this get to you, not let the stress or the drama or the BS.
Yeah,
Because
stress is not good.
you get,
We need to sleep and we need to be happy
right,
and stress free
right.
because it's ruining our days, you guys. You need to be happy. Don't worry. We need to be happy and stress
Speaking of
free.
happiness, when I called you, man, it sounded like you were jamming last week.
In what part of last week?
You don't even remember, right? That's how good it
I did
was.
so much last week.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I did so much.
Uh-huh. I think I heard the DJ shouting you out. No, I'm just, nah, I'm just messing. I'm just
It's
messing.
so funny. You're so silly.
But Robert did a great job. He was here holding it down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Prince of Five Boroughs. Yeah, he was
Prince of
yeah, the Prince of Five Boroughs. He was here holding it down in your place.
Yeah, I saw you guys. I got a lot of feedback for that. Oh, I saw you. You weren't there. But I liked it. We got quite a lot of views
We
also.
did. Oh, okay. That's
I
awesome.
mean, we used to get like 2,000, 3,000, 6,000. We had at some point,
Yeah.
but then our like back door of things changed a little bit, so people like don't find us in one
Yeah.
place. They find us in a bunch of different places. So our views divided in between, but whatever.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Nina, this new
Mhm.
season, this new season that we're in is going to be even better. We're going to be part of other networks.
Mhm.
In the future, I have somebody that does a lot of bank owned properties across the country.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be on, I think, April 6th. So we're going to offer not only mortgage brokers, we're going to also have future home buyers come on the show, and we just have a lot to offer this season, so it's going to be a great experience.
Yeah. Last season was also amazing.
Yeah, it was like when we were
It
trying
was
to,
different, but
yeah,
like it was
yeah,
also not. It was.
yeah, like
It's
going
real.
all the way to Westchester to do a podcast from a property with no heat.
And at the same time, yeah, doing an open house and showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If you
Oh
guys,
yes.
you know what? If we had a blooper reel for this show, I'm telling you, you'll be in stitches, man. We all the way there, get into the house, no lights, no heat. It was freezing.
Yeah,
There was
and
no,
nobody knew. You
nobody
guys
knew.
didn't even realize.
I was like, there was no chairs. I was like, we're gonna just stand here and
We're
do the
profesh.
podcast.
We're profesh. Yes, 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 yes.
Nah, but we're gonna do more on the spot locations. We may go back to the bakery again. I may arrange that maybe for the fall. So,
We were also invited to that CBS show. What was it? The podcast of CBS or whatever it's called. I don't even know. So we'll be in different places. So follow us and check where we're gonna be.
yeah, and
It's
maybe
gonna be
this year we'll
interesting.
get to that yacht. We was gonna do a yacht show last year, but that fell through. Maybe we'll get it through this summer.
Yacho is a little bit complicated. Internet and connections and
Yeah, that's true. By the water, it's always
yeah.
yeah. Even if yeah,
I wanted to call down our guest in the show, in today's show, Mr. Schwartz. I saw. Okay, please come down.
all right. So listen, we're gonna take a brief moment. We're gonna be
Yes.
right back.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
Starting.
Hey.
Hey, hi. Okay, so our guest is on his way. We have
Yeah.
Mr. David Schwartz here. He's going to be joining us as the guest of the show and share his information and experience and teach us a little bit about himself, about his business. And here he is.
Oh wow.
Come, come, come.
Okay, so now what?
Hello,
wait a second.
hello, hello.
Wait a second.
Let's have you put this on.
Okay.
My OCD tells me you need to move over to the left.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Am I
Yeah.
here?
Chris,
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I gotta look this way.
Okay,
All right.
so
All right, let's
come
turn that
close
around a
to
little bit.
this and
So
come a little bit. Pick up your bag
there we
and
go.
look straight.
Nice.
Walk and talk into here. Walk.
Okay.
Did I just say walk? Hold on. Do you hear yourself?
Yeah,
Chris,
he should be
this way?
good.
Can you hear me? No, I don't hear myself.
No, he doesn't hear himself.
No, I do.
Let's make sure.
Now you do. Okay.
Low cut. Now
You
you
good?
do?
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. Nina, what a great tan you got. Where have you been lately? Is that real? Or?
Is that really sad? Oh my
Is
goodness.
that real?
I mean, I was just in the
yes,
Bahamas,
it's
so
real.
I have, I know where I was at. Thank you. Mint.
That's no, it's chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah, chocolate covered. Chris, please move over a little bit to the left.
All right.
To the left. To the left.
To the left. To the left.
Okay, so
All right.
Mr. Schwartz, right after you finish chewing my beautiful chocolate that's standing in front
Yeah,
of
that's
me.
a nice blazer you got on.
Thank
yeah.
you. I wore it especially for this podcast. I don't know if I should tell anyone, but this is actually my first podcast.
Wow.
Never done
Oh,
this before.
okay.
Well, we are one
I
of
am
the first
old
ones
school.
for real estate podcast, so you should
Okay.
be
Yeah.
careful.
I've been in
so-
the Howard Stern podcast once. That was about it.
Did you?
I got
really?
asked some very inappropriate questions, but we're gonna put that for another time, right?
You're so funny. Yeah, for sure. So sometimes we bring people over to talk about their business, their experiences, their knowledge in general, and overall. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Schwartz.
So I've been in the mortgage business for, I can't believe it. I don't look at 22 years, right?
Stop lying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You want to guess how old I am?
27.
I appreciate that. 20 years. Add 20 years to that. And
For real?
thank God. Yeah, I'm 47.
Wow, good for
I
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're
That's what
exactly
happens.
10 years on me.
Oh wow!
Just
Thank God. I thought it was 20.
so,
So I'll tell you. Fast forward. I've been doing this for 22 years. Around 8 years ago, my wife. Actually, I should text her and make sure she's watching this.
We'll
Is this
share
live
it.
on Instagram?
It's live. We're going to share it. Not a lot of people get to see it right
Oh,
away,
got
but
it.
we do have it in our history. It's going to be on the show.
Perfect.
It's going to be on the network and on our YouTube.
So 8 years ago, I moved down to Florida, and I was commuting on a weekly basis for 5 years. And thank God COVID happened, or not thank God. And then over that time, I was able to start living more full time down there. And now I commute on a monthly basis. And over that time, because I'm talking about the last 5 years, because that's when I, kind of moved my business along. I built up now. I got 12 loan officers.
Okay.
Wow.
And what we built up is that, I've tried to get loan officers that can handle every single situation. So right now I have 2 Spanish-speaking loan officers.
Nice.
I got 1 Bengali-speaking loan officer. I got 1 Chinese-speaking loan officer. Speaks
Yes.
Cantonese
okay,
and a little
go ahead.
Mandarin. And no Hebrew-speaking loan officers. Sorry.
Well, you have me if you need help.
Right. I'm working on the Russian one. So that's what we do. We pretty much handle FHA, VA, conventional.
Okay.
We're actually one of the largest VA lenders in the country. I've been doing a lot of VA lending lately.
Wow.
I don't know who's watching this, but if realtors are watching this, VA clients are really great to go after nowadays. They're doing 100% financing. They have a lot of friends that will, refer you. So it's a very small community. So once one refers you, I closed someone, the house on East 96. I think you know that house. You know that small house on East 96? There was like a 2-family. No clue? You know every house.
I know.
You know every house in
on
Brooklyn. I
East
thought. I mean,
96.
that's
Come on,
your
it's the
job.
queen of Brooklyn.
So as Isaac Bischoff's house. So anyway, she bought that house, and now you know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Sorry.
And
Okay.
then within the last 3 weeks, I already have 5 buyers that she sent over to me.
So
And she's
amazing.
actually stationed she's stationed in Kuwait. She never even saw the house. She had someone check it out for her. She FaceTimed to see the house, and then someone from the family. So all these service members that are in Kuwait right now, they're actually buying houses.
Okay.
And reason for that is that they make a lot of non-taxable income And when they come back, that income might not be 100% the same. So they know that right now is the time to buy. So I'm hitting up that whole base. Just for instance, hopefully soon, when I have some more interested, more qualified buyers for Brooklyn, I'm going to pass it over to Nina, of course. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an agent with Five Borough Realty.
Oh, I did not know that. What's your name?
Chris.
Oh, Chris, nice to meet you. Anyway, I thought maybe we have like different, different occupations here. So that's pretty much one of the things that I've been concentrating on. And just in general, just trying to get homegrown, like just try to get buyers from different communities. Like what I'm trying to do, it just takes time, going into churches if possible. The Haitians and the West African community is very, very big. Depending on their Haitians, very big in East Flatbush. The West African is very, very big up in the Bronx, and they also travel in packs. So if you can get into the community, so I'm just really concentrating and getting out to the different communities. Obviously, the Bengali community, not obviously, I mean, they are buying a lot, and they're throughout Brooklyn, Bronx, and Queens.
Big families.
They're big families. They're very loyal, and they recommend. So we're trying to get more into those communities. So I'm just giving tips to whoever's listening of the different things that we have to do, and the different, I guess, communities that we have to go after that are buying right now, that are very active. So if you would ask me, the most extremely active group buying right now in the Bronx, for instance, is the West Africans. It used to be the Hispanic, like Dominicans and stuff like that. Dominicans do still buy up there, but the most active, I would say, is the West African. I would say in the Brooklyn area, is the Bengalis. Bengalis are buying up all Brooklyn, and there's certain areas that are Asian as well. I don't know. Nina maybe would know better about that. Do you deal with a lot of Asian buyers?
I honestly deal with everyone.
Okay, so she's
the United
not,
Nations.
So she's not
She's
categorizing
the
people like me.
United
I
Nations.
apologize if I'm offending
It
anyone.
just no, you're not, and it's just your experience with them. I just deal mainly with like young families
Right.
who are getting out of their rentals, and then big families.
Right.
The middle of that are kind of skeptical. I feel like they don't make medium moves into medium moves, meaning those who are in the two family have to have a really big sudden change of either hardship or situation to make a move into another two family.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's mainly rentals into 1 and 2, and then the big families who decided to move in with their mother, with their fathers,
Right.
with the children, with the in-laws. And then race, honestly, it's just so many, because I feel like both Bengali and Jews and Asians and West Indians, they all are family oriented type of people, overall. So they're all big families. So I guess it's a mixture of everything.
Well, I think that as a realtor, you're looking at the general. As a banker, or maybe someone who's trying to create a certain strategy, we're looking at the different communities so we could concentrate on networking.
And you also
with
work
those
on
communities.
referrals a lot, so that
Yes.
one
We're
refers to
working on
another.
that. I mean,
so
you
it
guys get
makes
referrals
sense.
across the board, and
Yeah.
also you advertise, people come to open houses. But if I guess the advice I'm trying to say is that if you trying to target certain
Yes.
communities,
Mhm.
then this is the way that you're going to help build up your business right now.
Right.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
being in the industry for over 20 years, what keeps you so passionate to help get mortgages to help people find money to get houses? Like, what keeps you?
Because I'm very competitive, and I just like doing as much as possible out there. I'll be honest with you. I live in Florida, as I said earlier, and my wife gives me a hard time. Why am I not doing more business down there? I just know New York. I network up here, and I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy closing as much as possible. I think Nina and I share that passion a little bit.
Yes.
She likes to do as much as possible and beat out whoever she can.
So
I know that about her, so I'm the same way. Yeah.
So does the size of the deal matter, or the amount of deals matter per year for you?
We get paid based off volume, not based off units.
Gotcha.
So if I do 100 units for 50 million, or I do 10 units, or I'm sorry, 25 units for 75 million, I will make more money, less units, and more volume.
Gotcha.
Or volume based.
And the fact that Mr. Schwartz keeps saying that he lives in Florida does not limit him to the loan location.
No.
right?
No one even
Tell us
knows. Like
more.
I'm just sharing that, and maybe I'm sharing
Yeah,
I
I just
guess
don't
I'm
want people to think if you're not here, then you're
no,
not
I
Right,
mean
volunteer.
right.
it's just I'm sharing that to say that thank God that I'm busier than ever and I live in Florida. And the point I'm trying to make is that, well, number one, I have around 11, 12 loan officers up here. So let's just say I'm not here. I have 3 assistants. They can all meet with whoever clients that you might be bringing in. And that's not an issue. If someone wants to come to the office and meet someone personally, and I have a lot of options for them. But the point I'm trying to make is that you could still be successful in this market and commute, which I've been doing. And honestly, when I tell a client that, by the way, at the end of the day, I live in Florida, like, what? They have no idea because it's just
Mhm.
seamless. They have no clue. It's seamless with the fact that with the assistants that I have, and I mean, that's the reason why I hope one of the reasons why Nina does business with us. She can give us the deal. She knows it's going to close.
So
Yeah.
when you hire a new loan officer, what do you look for?
If I'm going, so there's 2 different loan officers I have in my branch. One is the people who are doing self-sourced business.
Mhm.
This is another way my business is set up. So if they're self-sourced, where they're bringing in most of their own business, and I feel like they're going to represent our brand or the bank well, then that's fine. But another part of my business, and the very big part of my business, and this is one of the reasons that how I built my business, is that in order to, I guess, take as many real estate agents on as possible, we all know that everyone wants everything right now. So it's impossible. Even if I was one person that had 10 assistants, it doesn't matter because everyone in the end wants to talk to the loan officer. So what I
Right.
did is, instead of I have 3 assistants, so I can still handle whatever volume I take. But now I have all these different bankers, and what I do is they get put into different real estate offices, and their responsibility is to stay on top of that real estate office. Instead of the realtor calling me, they call them to get the answers right away because everyone wants everything right now.
Yeah.
And then with getting the right people, that hopefully represent us the right way, we're able to expand and take on more real estate offices. I mean, that's the way I have it set up. So other people have it set up where they have 5 or 6 assistants and 1 banker. But the way I saw it is that at the end of the day, everyone still wants to reach the banker. So if you have to be reached, there's only so many people you can be dealing with.
That's
So
true.
what's the biggest difference from when you started in the business to where we are today? Like with technology, with the internet. I'm sure 20
Well,
years
since this is
ago.
my first podcast, and
Mm.
you know how I am with, I guess, technology. But I mean, we went from written applications to e-signing and everything being uploaded. We went from having documents, even though we still like printing documents and looking at them. But nowadays, you have documents, you upload them, and then you.
She needs your. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. She needs to. Thank you very much. Sorry. Go on, Mr. Schwartz.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No problem. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
blocking the thing.
All right.
Sorry. Go on.
Um,
Hmm.
what were we saying?
So the difference from
Oh,
when you
yes, yes.
started to where we are now.
E-signing, documents. I used to have, when they changed the application when Dodd-Frank first came out, and it used to be a 5-page application, then it became a 35 or 40-page application. We had to literally print it all out, take it to the client, meet them in person, have them hand sign 45 or 50 pages, and then take it back and then scan it and then upload it. I mean, it was a big pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And then let's say it's a 3 or 4 borrower loan, which we have a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you scanned it wrong and you missed a page or 2, you'd have to rescan the whole thing and upload it again. I mean, it's just, that's some of the stuff I remember from back in the day. I would say in terms of locking rates, I mean, locking rates were always online, and that was pretty simple. Um, that's some of the stuff I remember the most. Just the disclosures are a pain in the ass.
So today, is it easier to work in this business compared to 20 years ago because of technology?
Honestly, I think it's the same.
Okay.
I think my model is based off of, which I'm working on switching, is based off of my relationships with realtors. I do
Right.
the right job. I set up a meeting with a realtor. I get into the office. I try to wear a nice jacket to be personable. And then over time, work at it, whatever I need to work out with the realtor to make sure that they're happy and we get the business. And then I go and then I make sure and I concentrate on that office, for the next couple months or 6 months. Don't worry about it. I'm always going to tap Need's account. I'm not going to give it to anyone. But and then when it's ready, I hand it over to one of my bankers so I can concentrate on the next one. And that's pretty much how I do it. Now I know nowadays it's all, and what I have done over the last couple of years, which was also a big deal because a couple of years back, I remember Josh Blonde. You remember Josh? You know Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course.
He told me, he says, David,
My lovely friend Sarah.
Right.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh, hey, Sarah. I love both of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, he said to me, "You have no online presence." So he says, "What?" I said, "What should I do?" He said, "Do a Zillow review page." So thank God now I have 280 positive Zillow reviews, which is actually a lot based on I go around and check my what everyone has out there, and I personally think that if you're I know the whole the whole Instagram and all these different online that's important to stay in front of people. I personally think that when you're trying to get a loan, a client's trying to check you out, I would rather go and see a Zillow review page, have a 280 positive reviews. I always give it to the realtors to hand it out and look at the last 10 reviews and just read it. And then you get an understanding of the person as opposed to me. Well, I hope people have better understanding me on this podcast, but just posting on a daily basis, whatever it is. And I'm out with my friends having drinks in some small lounge. I don't know, stuff like that.
Do you believe in posting like that
No.
all the time?
Never do.
Really?
Like, for instance, like no one would know I live in
Not
Florida.
about drinks, though. I'm not
No,
talking
not
about
drinks. Just in general. Like, I wouldn't go to my balcony and start, taking pictures of the ocean.
Yeah,
or
no,
go
not that
taking pictures
either.
of you. I'm just saying, but people do that.
But
Or
people
go,
do that for business. Do you believe in business in Instagram?
no, doing that. I don't
Really?
see how that's business.
Well, then we need to talk more,
Wait,
Mr.
I understand.
Schwartz.
Taking pictures of the ocean is
No,
for
not
business.
taking pictures. I'm saying overall Instagram.
Overall,
to use,
I mean, do
to
I
use
believe
the
in it?
stage for your business.
Do I believe in it personally? Not that much, but I do have someone that's hired that is helping me build that business
Good for
because I don't have a
you.
choice. Because
Right.
that's
So
where the
cool.
market's
Market's
going.
going.
I gotta get with it. Right
Mhm.
now, so what I've noticed in terms of the change of how to interact with realtors and what my competition is doing is number one, or what's being done out there is number one, developing good pre-approved clients to hand out to realtors, because what we've always done and a lot of bankers still do is like, hey, I did a great job standing with their hand out and always helping maybe help the realtors with marketing, but at the end of the day have their hand out, right? They're not doing anything for the realtors. So what is doing something for the realtor besides doing a great job and closing a deal? I mean, there's a lot of people who can do that. I mean, thank God, it's about relationships too, but giving them giving them clients, or what's another thing, or helping them with their online marketing in terms of, Instagram and co-marketing with them on Instagram, helping them send postcards to areas that they just closed the house and, co-marketing that and just different things to help them increase their business as opposed to just the standard old thing, which is just let's do marketing and I'll wait for the deals to come through.
But it's not only that. I mean, you don't only like give realtors clients, you fix also other people's mistakes. Meaning, when we work together, most of the scenarios we come to you with an option to help if there is a way for you to help. Meaning, someone comes to us with a banker that ended up not doing right by the client in any way or form.
Right.
And that's when I reach out to David, because I don't tell them about you until I see where they're coming from in terms of their financing. Then, of course, then I recommend you, and I try to even bring you in as a competitor to the existing lender and see how you can be in a better use. Listen, me myself, I bought my own house and I went to 3 different bankers. Right. Is it true that every banker has a different product? Tell our audience.
There's certain bankers who can handle different things. I mean, there's certain bankers who look at things as black and white, and there's certain bankers who look to try to make something happen. So, obviously, I built my business on trying to make things happen, coming in and try to save deals, coming in and doing what it takes to get the right interest rate to because some people out there, they just work on they just want to bang out the client, and they don't, they're just, they get hand deals and like, okay, so I'll close 10% of the deals and I make, for me, I'd rather close 100% of the deals if I have to discount my rate just to get the deal, so that the realtor's happy and keep it moving, I would say that. I'm sorry. What was your question?
If different bankers
Oh
have
yes, different
different
bankers.
products.
And then I think nowadays the playing field is pretty level. I mean, everyone has
Right.
conventional FHA, VA. I think maybe it's just certain banks, like some of the bigger banks, and that's why people switch them. It's the speed and also the risk tolerance, right? There's certain banks out there have underwriting that's a little bit more flexible, right? And that's how
Yeah.
we're able to get things done. And then
Yes.
there's the non-QM product, which a lot of people have nowadays. That's the DSCR, no income, um, so on and so forth. But I don't think there's any crazy products under the sun. I mean, if you want, there was a crazy product, First Republic, but I just got a
Mm.
couple phone calls today that they had their mortgage commitments from First Republic with crazy rates, and that is no longer. So they had some crazy products, but that's what happened when you loan money for free. So
So, with those two banks closing recently, how does that affect you?
well, I just think that, I don't lose as many deals when you say lose in terms of rates and so on and so forth, because I'm dealing with clients that are pretty loyal, and I'm
Hmm.
doing FHA, VA, and we have competitive rates conventional. But there is lenders out there that are doing a lot of jumbo, and
Mm.
one of the issues is that they were lending money at a very low rate.
Right.
First Republic, great for instance, once again, they were out there, had this American product, Eagle product, and their rate was around 0.75% lower than everyone because of this product. They just raised their rates 0.5%. People who are going to them are now coming back to us and saying, well, the rate is no longer competitive. So that obviously, if you're going to try to undercut the market, Rocket right now, they're trying to undercut the market. UWM, I don't know if you guys are familiar with any of these places. Rocket and UWM,
Yeah.
the United Wholesale Mortgage, are now the 1 and 2 biggest lenders in the country.
What
Right.
Rocket? One of them.
Rocket Mortgage,
Rocket
yes.
Mortgage was number one. I think UWM just surpassed them. UWM
Okay.
only does brokers, and they do broker business, and pretty much all the brokers, from my understanding, and I speak to a lot of some brokers, around 80-90% of the business goes to UWM. So pretty much all of the mortgage brokers in the country, I guess maybe what's happening right now, because they don't have any retail and they don't have any correspondent. We're a correspondent lender and we're a bank. We're a
Right.
federal bank. Um, so that's, they're trying to corner the market. And I don't know if anyone heard, he just bought the Suns for $4 billion. So I think they're doing
Oh
okay.
wow.
The
Wow.
owner of that company is like, off the top of my head, Matt something. But yeah. Oh, but let me tell you a little bit something else about why we're a little different than some of the other bankers in the area. So as you know, there's brokers, there's bankers, there's correspondent lenders. So we are an actual federal bank. So we're actually licensed throughout the whole country. So right now, as we all know, a lot of people are getting out of New York. They're going to Georgia. They're going to Texas. Those are big
Yes.
states. North Carolina, South Carolina. So we, as a banker, normally you have to be licensed state by state. I don't have to be licensed state by state. Let's just say you have realtor connections in Connecticut, Florida, whatever, a referral source, and you now want to refer that client to that realtor, so you can obviously try to make a part of the real estate commission as your client. We can do the mortgage there. Most of the banks in general, you would have to get licensed state by state, and that would be,
That's a
they
big
wouldn't be able
plus.
to do. Yeah, so that's a big plus. We're able to do that, and we actually also, because we're a bank, we have our own money, and we actually made up our own portfolio product to try to help
Wow. That is
Okay.
so
certain.
cool.
So,
As
for
of when
instance,
were you always like that?
25% down is normal on investment properties, right?
Right.
So we actually have a portfolio product that's an arm, 15% down on 1 to 4 families. So in a 1 to 4 family, it's usually 25% down. I think 3 and 4 is a 30.
But were you always
This is
having
more
your own
recent. This is over
portfolio?
the last couple, like 6 months, 8 months, we had this product.
Fancy.
Then we
Wow.
also have 100% financing on doctors, but not just regular
What?
doctors, podiatrists, dentists are considered a doctor, veterinarians,
Dr. Dre?
They are considered
veterinarians,
doctors.
anesthesiologists,
Well, they better.
pharmacists, not drug dealers though, but
100%?
pharmacists. 100% financing, no MI, up to
Weedologist?
$1 million. I don't know. Maybe that's going to be
And
considered
after a million?
5% up to 2,
Okay.
with an arm 5.75 and a 5, something like
Explain.
that.
Explain. People don't know.
So an arm,
No,
adjustable rate
after the
mortgage.
million.
Oh, so it's either 100% financing up to $1 million, or it's 5% down up to 2 million, from what I remember. And so let's just say this is really great for people who are just getting out of school, right? So let's say you're getting out of school, you're newlywed, and you have a bunch of student loans, and now you have an offer letter that you're going to make $400,000 as a doctor, an anesthesiologist, a veterinarian, dentist, whatever it might be, right? So we will use that offer letter to qualify you for that income. And if, let's say, you have $200,000 worth of student loans, as long as those loans are deferred a year from closing, we can use that. We can defer that debt. We don't have to count that debt against you. I think you have to have
Wow.
a 680 credit score, and it's 100% financing. And there is the big thing is no MI. I mean, that's huge.
Hmm.
At a
No
specific
MI.
rate or
It has to be
difference?
owner occupied. You can't be buying this investment property.
Okay.
Okay.
And the husband or wife or the co-signer does not necessarily have to be a medical professional. So at least one has to be medical professional.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's a big program that we do. I mean, maybe we can hit up some hospitals, and then
Yeah.
if the hospitals hear about that, then we can get some RNs, and the RNs are, they're great to go for. But this does not count. This does not cover RNs. This covers
I was just
nurse
about to
practitioners.
ask
I
you.
know
Oh,
that would be
nurse
great.
Okay.
Nurse
Yeah, yeah,
practitioners.
nurse
I have
practitioner can get
a
a
whole
100%
list.
mortgage.
100% mortgage.
Okay,
Oh,
hello.
wow.
100%.
Okay.
I mean, they have to have a decent
I
debt
have
to income
so
ratio.
many friends who are nurse
So
practitioners.
we could
Yeah.
send those flyers out. We could try to get some more business that way, and then
And
through that business, hopefully get some other stuff.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, if a nurse practitioner purchased a home and she just did not expect all those closing costs and she put 10% down and blah, 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 if she currently owns a home
It's not
and
a
she wants
refinance
to
product.
sell, right, but she wants to sell her existing home and
Mhm.
purchase new with your product,
Mhm.
will that be considered as FHA owner occupied?
It's not an FHA.
But she's going to sell her
You wanted to use
home
the
right now,
doctor program or just an FHA loan?
the doctor program.
The doctor program's not an FHA loan.
But it's as good as
It's an
FHA.
owner-occupied loan.
Right, but she'll be
It's
able to
similar
use
to
that
an
if she
FHA in
currently
terms of
owns.
the fact it's owner-occupied. But yes, if she sells her house and wants to buy a different house, and now that's going to be considered owner-occupied, that she can 100% do that.
Good.
She can put, let's just say she wants to put 5% down and save
Mhm.
the rest of her money. She still has 5% down, no MI. She wants to do
Amazing.
10% down. She still has 10% down and no MI.
Very,
And anyway,
very
with the
good.
rates being so high now, anyway, the odds are people are taking adjustables because the odds are you're going to want to refinance anyway. So the way we sell it is like you're going to refinance anyway in a couple of years. You're going to build your equity. You're going to probably be making more money, and you'll get out of the arm, and you'll probably have a lower rate, and then you won't have you'll have the 80% equity, so you won't have to deal with MI anyway at that point. What's one more? We have construction loans, and we also have that's also a portfolio product. And last but not least, we have ITIN loans. People who have an ITIN number,
Oh yeah,
which
that's a good one.
I
Listen,
don't have as much of that product. I'm sorry, business, but that's more. I don't know if I'm
that should be
in the
booming.
Latino world. I
Listen
would
to
say
this.
that
That's
happens a lot.
amazing. Listen to this. Go on.
So most banks are 20% down. We actually just rolled out our product, which is only 10% down. So 10% down on the ITIN product. Most banks are 15 to 20% down. So we're doing 10% down.
Gotcha.
And so all these different portfolio products are a way to get people into more houses because that's our goal this year, to take our money as a bank, because we're not just a correspondent lender like some of our competition out there. I could name some banks, but whatever that might be. And we, like I said, we're going after first time home buyers and helping them get into houses. And then for the realtor part, helping with these products to get more business, because this is a product that's going to, people like, wow. And then, you get a lot more attention. And then the realtor is able to hopefully see more buyers giving them a call because they're like, wow, this is a great product. It's just the wow factor itself. Even if they're not going to take this loan, they're going to be like, wow, I know a lot of friends. And then maybe that friend's an RN. An RN is maybe not going to have that product, but now you have a bunch of qualified RNs that want to buy a house in certain neighborhoods. So that's
So cool. You
that's
keep
one
saying
thing.
qualified RN. You mean qualified nurse
No,
practitioners?
I'm saying that if it's a domino effect. So RNs are not going to qualify for this program. I just
Right,
use the
but
word RN.
eventually.
I'm sorry. I could LPN, CNA. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offending anyone. HHA, whatever it is. But I'm saying in the hospital, right? When you're in the hospital and you're advertising, let's just say people heard about this product, maybe the person who's going to be calling you is not necessarily qualified for this product, but at least we can rope them in, maybe, get other people. So it's just like, it sounds great. It's like when you You can come into a house 100% financing and no money down, right? People like, you get a lot of calls. So same thing, right? If people in the hospitals here, 100% financing, no MI, and you could be a nurse practitioner and it has a whole list. I mean, I could send you the flyer. There's a list. It's not there's like doctors. Most of them had doctor programs where you're just a physician. Us, we have like 20 people. So people like on the list, okay, let me call. Maybe I'm qualified. And that's a way that hopefully now that we have some good ideas right now, we can hopefully go and get some more buyers and get some more business.
Right.
Wow. Are any of those products give you closing costs?
No.
Some type of grant?
You can do a seller's concession, but there's no grant. We do have a Sony May loan, which is a first-time home buyer loan.
Mhm.
We do 5% down, up to 5% down on 2 families, which if you go conventional, you would have to do 15% down on 2 families. So the overall payment is going to be lower in something like that. Another way that me and Nina actually connected recently was the 2-for-1 buy down program.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Okay.
Nina loves selling that, but I tell her, don't tell the clients. Let me tell him, because she just doesn't explain it the right way. No offense,
Yeah,
Nina.
yes, I do. I get them excited.
I mean, you
about
get them
it.
excited
Maybe
about it, but then they're
overexcited,
like,
but what I say is
yeah.
right.
So 2-for-1 buy down program, it gives you the opportunity and Rocket calls it the inflation buster, right? So it's all the same concept, where pretty much the first 2 years or the first year, or the first 3 years, depending on what you pick, you will get let's just take the 2-for-1. So if let's just say you lock in a rate of 6%, the first year will be 4%, the second year will be 5%, and then it resets back to 6. So you will save a certain amount of money, let's just say $15,000 in the first 2 years.
Right.
And then once the rate goes back up to 6%, it's fixed for 30 years. The goal is that in 2-3 years from there, so let's say it's an FHA loan in that case, you would hopefully refinance out and then realize that $15,000 savings that you had in the first 2 years.
Yeah, so it gives
As
you the
opposed to,
opportunity.
I'm sorry?
It gives you the opportunity to refinance. So they give you
No,
these
it doesn't
2
have
years
the
at a
opportunity to
lower
refinance.
rate.
Everyone wants to refinance at an FHA. When people come and say to me, "Oh, I'm stuck with this loan for 30 years," I say the average American has a loan for 5 to 7 years. So within 5 to 7 years, you're gonna be out of that loan. So when people, especially taking FHA, they're all MI for 30 years. I say you're not going to be paying MI for 30 years.
Right. PMI, private mortgage insurance.
Yes, sorry about that. Thank you.
Well,
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna have to invite you back another time. We're at the end of the show.
Yes.
How can someone reach you so they can get their
You
money,
can
get some
reach
funding?
me at 917-744-2875. I don't even know my Instagram handle. I'm just joking.
We're gonna share it.
TFSB,
We're gonna share it also.
TFSBNY. If you want to reach me through Instagram, I check my messages from time to time. Best way to reach myself. So 917-744-2875. I hope I didn't talk too fast, but we covered a lot of topics. So
Yes,
I appreciate
yes.
that.
And thank you so much
And thank
for
you
coming
for
on the
letting me
show.
out, inviting me to my first podcast. Thank you.
Bye.
All right,
I'll
bye.
talk to
We'll see you next
later.
week.
Okay.
Hi.
We are?
So.